Executive is tied up at another meeting this morning, but in his stead, our Chief Administrative Officer Tim Mullaney is here to deliver his greetings and to say a few words of insight. Tim, it's yours.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath on words of insight. On behalf of the county executive, I want to say thanks to everybody for all that you guys do. Even those that are not getting awards, you're all a very vital part of Newcastle County government, and we appreciate the work you do. And you know, we take for granted sometimes special services because cut grass, a really nice looking property, or road work with the sewers and so forth. That's something that we just don't pay attention to who does what, but we do enjoy the end result. So on behalf of the county executive, we want to thank you for the great job that you do, and all the compliments that we get for the way the county looks, and the employees and how they interact with the public. So thanks, and appreciate what you do.
Okay, last week we did the 20 years and over awards that were over the Gilligan building. We had many people that got awards, and I added it up last week, and the total service for everybody from the Special Services Department was 620 years of service. Today we are going to celebrate 425 years of service to county government for those people who have been here 5, 10, and 15 years of service. So let's start with the first alphabetically for 15 years service. Malin A. Banks, Motor Equipment Operator 1. Malin Banks began his career here at Newcastle County on November 13th, 2001. He now works as an MEO1 with the Brandywine Springs crew. Malin is often used as the lead MEO in the field, and is a valuable asset to the crew chief by taking additional responsibilities in the field. Malin, thank you very much for your service. Okay, the next one for 15 years of service is not here because he retired back in July, but I didn't want to recognize Dan Connors, who was an auto mechanic, for his service. Next is David J Cox Jr., trades helper. Dave started with Newcastle County on December 3rd, 2001 as an M&C worker, and was later promoted to trades helper. Dave is a trades helper in the sewer maintenance section and assists the TV grouter operator. Dave is a go-getter who never refuses any task and can be depended upon to work in any situation. Dave has been green carded consistently to TV grouter operator for over a year and has done a terrific job. Dave, thank you very much. Next, Stan M. Demby Jr., Property Maintenance Technician. Stan Demby started working for Newcastle County on May 29th, 2001. He has spent time as crew chief at Banning Park and District 3. Stan was recently promoted to Property Maintenance Technician position, overseeing subsection 2. Stan also has maintained perfect attendance throughout his career and has earned a reputation for being very dependable. And just very recently, he was promoted to Property Maintenance Technician. Thank you very much, Stan.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dave A. Hanna, plumber. Dave started with Newcastle County on August 20th, 2001. Dave is an excellent plumber who has successfully met the numerous challenges thrown his way in plant operations. Dave would be a good candidate for the TV show Dirty Jobs, since his work often takes him into the wet wells, trenches, and sumps to repair pipelines, which are essential for the operation of the pump stations and for the treatment plants. Thanks, Dave. We look forward to many more years of working with you. Thank you. Next would be James Kimbiter, who is an MEO3, but he's not here today, so I just want to give him his recognition. Robert A. Magnotti, Civil Engineer 1. Rob started with Newcastle County on June 18th in 2001 in our Land Use Department as a Civil Engineer 1, reviewing proposed land development plans for stormwater and sanitary sewer compliance. In 2004, Rob joined Special Services, focusing exclusively on sanitary sewers, and helped create our sanitary sewer design standards. In the past few years, Rob has started working on capital improvement projects, investigating the problems and coordinating the solutions. Rob is meticulous in his work and is willing to help anyone anytime he can. Rob, thanks for that. Chris M. Natron, Property Maintenance Technician. Chris Natron started working as a seasonal in 1999 at Carousel. On October 29th in 2001, he was hired in Special Services as a Special Services Specialist 2. And on September of 2007, he was promoted to Crew Chief 1. He's been serving as an acting property maintenance technician since 2012, overseeing subsections 1. Chris was recently promoted to property maintenance technician. Chris, congratulations. Kevin T. Pinoza, Civil Engineer 2. Kevin started with Newcastle County as a seasonal in 1996. In 2001, he became full-time as a Civil Engineer 1 in sewer maintenance, helping to coordinate cleaning and CCTV investigations. When Kevin was promoted to Civil Engineer 2, he started leading the DELDOT coordination project and handled emergency sewer projects. A few years ago, Kevin accepted a change in his responsibilities and now is coordinating pump station and treatment plant improvement projects. Kevin approaches his work in a quiet and calm manner and is very easy to work with. Kevin, thank you very much.
We know your father.
Daley Saunders, Garage Supervisor. Dale started his employment with Newcastle County in April 2001 as a mechanic. He hit the ground running and has ever since continued to run. He brought with him technical expertise from his previous employment, which he continued to expand upon on a daily basis with the county. He was promoted to Garage Supervisor in 2010, and in that position he brings the same can-do attitude to all of his employees. Dale, thank you very much. Mark A. Starrett, Maintenance and Construction Worker. Mark started working with Newcastle County as a Community Service Worker 2 on April 24th of 2000. On October 29th of 2001, he became a full-time employee as an M&C worker. Mark has worked with the Special Projects crew for several years and earned a great reputation for lining and painting the athletic fields. He's an M&C worker on the crew at Banning Park, where he continues to be an integral part of that crew. Mark, thank you very much. Walter J. Taylor, Public Works Inspector. Walter Taylor, or Jamie, started with Newcastle County in 2001 as a trades helper. Jamie was promoted in 2006 to a Public Works Inspector in the FOG program. As a Public Works Inspector in the FOG program, Jamie makes sure that restaurants and other commercial food establishments follow all best management practices to keep fats, oils, and grease out of our sewer system. Jamie keeps close track on our inventory of commercial food establishments and makes adjustments as new restaurants come online. Since the inception of the FOG program, grease-related SSOs and sewer blockages have decreased dramatically. Thank you so much for that and your service. Next is James S. Williams, Crew Chief 1. Jim will not be with us this morning. Eduardo Yepez, Motor Equipment Operator 1. Eduardo started with Newcastle County on October 26, 1999 as a seasonal at Carousel and became full-time on October 29th of 2001 as a Special Services Specialist 1 at Carousel. He was promoted to a Specialist 2 in March of 2006 and to an MEO 1 position in April of 2010. He is now working as an MEO 1 with the crew at Carousel. Eddie is a valuable member of the crew and is often used to mow the hayfields in Middle Run Valley. Eduardo has passion for animals and often used to assist the Equestrian Center and the petting zoo at Carousel Park. Eduardo, thank you very much. John A. Zeman, Chief Right-of-Way Agent. John Zeman, a Newcastle County Chief Right-of-Way Agent, has a diverse background in site planning, subdivision planning, realty, and real estate appraisal. When he arrived in Newcastle County 15 years ago, he was a licensed real estate appraiser. In that capacity, he performed real estate appraisals for parks acquisition and sanitary sewer easements for the county. As a chief right-of-way agent, Mr. Zeman performs field and office tasks associated with the evaluation and acquiring rights of property for Newcastle County's construction projects and related sanitary sewer construction. He develops and processes easement agreements, reviews plats for county construction projects and site development projects. John assists developers, utility companies, and consultants in facilitating right-of-way agreements. He performs right-of-way evaluations for internal clients and reviews and evaluates property appraisal generated by outside appraisers. These are the jobs that most of our employees don't even know exist in this county, but are so critical for everything we do. John, thank you so much. Okay, now we begin the 10 years of service. Guido P. Campanelli III, motor equipment operator. Guido is an MEO2 who's been temporarily promoted to pump station mechanic for the past several years. Guido is a quick study and a hard worker, often volunteers for difficult jobs, and co-workers often ask to have him help them with their jobs. Guido has a good skills set, has gotten mechanical experience, and will make an excellent pump station mechanic when given the opportunity. Guido, keep up the good work, and thank you very much. Now, David C. Clark, Chief of Project Management. Dave Clark has been employed with Newcastle County for 10 years, this time. He was previous employee with Newcastle County from 1973 to 1989, where he earned 16 years of service. Almost 17 years later, Dave's skills were recognized and obtained once again for use by the county. Dave is a meticulous detailer who strives to be perfect in every way. He tries. And demands that those working with him and for him are perfect as well. An excellent engineer in design and construction, he's also an excellent writer as he lends his expertise to make sure every county capital project contract is legally tight, which ensures our capital projects can be the best that they are. He's never without comment, and his offerings strive to make every project better. His goal is to ensure the protection of the county infrastructure and investment for our citizens. Dave, thanks so much for what you do. Next is Herb Coates, pump station mechanic. Herb's not with us this morning. Charles J. Cox, crew chief 1, is not attending also this morning, 10 years service. David E. Cox, motor equipment operator 1. David came to Newcastle County on August 14th of 2006. He is now an MEO1 working with our special projects crew in the property maintenance section. Dave is also on the crew chief list and fills in on the green card as needed. Dave has maintained perfect or near perfect attendance throughout his entire career. Dave, thank you very much. Next, I'm pleased to have Robert J. Ferguson, Sr., Building Maintenance Supervisor. Bob started his career with Newcastle County in January of 2006 as a building maintenance supervisor assigned to the city-county building. He had to quickly learn how to work with two distinctly different government entities that did not always see eye to eye on maintenance issues. With the retirement of a co-worker, Bob was transferred to the Sweeney Public Safety Building in 2009, where he remains today. He was responsible for the public safety facilities, the two PAL buildings, and buildings in our county parks. Bob brings a wealth of knowledge to the county from previous work experiences from which he has learned during his 10-year stay here. He is also willing to do the things that are needed to get jobs done and frequently thinks outside the box to get things done. He's a valuable member of our building maintenance section. Bob, thank you so much for your service. William T. Fountain, Crew Chief 1, is not attending this morning. Kathleen M Green, Budget and Procedure Analyst. Kathleen has been employed by Newcastle County for 10 years. She was hired on May 8th, 2006 as an account clerk 3 in the Department of Finance in the Treasury section. On January 14th of 2008, Kathleen took a transfer to Special Services Fiscal Unit as the acting clerk 3 for facilities maintenance. She was subsequently promoted a year later to an accountant 1, and on February 9th, 2010, Kathleen was promoted to a budget and procedures analyst. Kathleen is instrumental in handling all the fiscal matters for the department's capital projects. She has a great rapport with her coworkers, and congratulations on 10-year service, Kathleen. Michael A. Haggerty Jr., Motor Equipment Operator 1. Michael started his career with Newcastle County on November 23rd, 2004 as a seasonal and was hired full-time in 2006 as an M&C in property maintenance. On September the 6th, 2010, he was promoted to an MEO1. He's assigned to the crew at Brandywine Springs Park. Mike is also on the green card list for Crew Chief 1 and spends time supervising crews within the section as needed. Mike is also on the green card list for Crew Chief 1 and spends time supervising, and that was a reprint of the first sentence. Mike, congratulations. Paul A. Hopkins, tree trimmer. He is not with us. That's right, he is not here this morning. Fatal? No. He's not with us this morning. Trust me, he's still with us though. Bernadette Igo is not here with us this morning. Ed Coopers, Assistant County Engineer. Ed Coopers was hired 10 years ago to manage and construct 5 large projects in the southern sewer service area, where the county was investing large amounts of money to build an infrastructure that would accommodate the projected and future growth of the county. Once these projects were completed, Ed took on several more large-scale construction projects that involved intricate and specialized design and presented unique challenges to construct. As a registered professional engineer and a registered land surveyor, Ed's expertise has come in handy to ensure that the best possible solutions and products are obtained by the county. Ed, thanks so much. William R. Manuel is not with us this morning as pipe player. William J. McCluskey, Public Works Inspector. Bill McCluskey comes to Newcastle County from the management ranks of organized labor. He's a retired union-affiliated iron worker. The last 9 years of his career, he served as the president of the Building Trades Council and vice president state AFL-CIO. Mr. McCluskey is Newcastle County's prevailing wage officer. He monitors contract compliance with Newcastle County's prevailing wage regulations. Bill evaluates electronic filings of prevailing wage information for compliance with the county code and conducts field interviews with contractors and subcontractors. Mr. McCluskey meets with in-house counsel, recommends issuance of notice of violations, and writes requests for information, interprets labor wage classifications, and serves as a witness for our notice of violation hearings. Bill, thank you so much for your service. Sean T. Moore, Crew Chief 1. Sean Moore's career with Newcastle County began on May 30th, 2006 as an MEO1 and was promoted to Crew Chief 1 in October of 2011. He is now Crew Chief 1, supervising the crews at Brandywine Springs Park. Sean is also on the green card list for property maintenance technician and fills in as needed throughout this section. Sean has also maintained several years of perfect attendance and can be relied upon on a daily basis. Sean, thanks so much. Curtis E. Reed, Motor Equipment Operator 1. Curtis began his career as an MEO1 working for Newcastle County on November the 20th of 2006. He's now an MEO1 working in Glasgow Park. Curtis is a valuable member of the crew and can be relied upon on a daily basis to complete tasks assigned to him. Curtis maintained perfect attendance throughout his career. Kurt, thanks so much. Tom Terepka, staff engineer, is not present with us this morning. Our 5-year individuals: Laurie A. Jones, account clerk 3. I don't know, it seems like whenever I do the account clerks, there's always a higher level of applause that comes out. I can't figure that one out. Laurie was hired on March of 2011 as a payroll processor with the Department of Special Services. She handles the payroll and attendance for approximately 145 employees within the fleet, construction support, environmental compliance sections, as well as engineering. During her 5 years as an employee with Newcastle County, she has had perfect attendance, reflecting dedication to the job and her coworkers. Laurie is always eager to assist coworkers and supervisors with any task and always enthusiastic when she tackles his assignments. In May of 2012, after only 14 months with the county, Laurie was nominated by her coworkers and supervisors to be an Employee of the Month. She's built an excellent rapport with all of her coworkers, but also employees outside the department. She is a valuable asset to the department, and we thank you for your service. Donald L Lavender Jr., pipe layer. Donald was hired as a pipe layer and construction support on January the 18th of 2011. He also works mainly with the sanitary sewer repair crew, performing repairs to the county's large sanitary sewer system. As noted earlier, in pipe layer's position is one of the department's most challenging positions, and it depending on the location, he can be working in an excavation anywhere from 4 feet to 20 feet deep with sewage in it. Thank you very much, Donald, for that work. James M McCready, automotive mechanic, is not attending this morning. James K McGinnis, III, senior electrician. Jim started his career with Newcastle County in June of 2011 as a senior electrician after 3 years working as a contractor in county facilities. He is located at the Public Safety Building, but is responsible for electrical issues in all of our county buildings. His primary responsibility are to maintain electrical systems, including switch gears, transformers, UPS systems, backup power generators, and our electrical distribution system. He also assists coworkers with more typical electrical duties, such as changing lights and ballasts and troubleshooting. Jim's background, along with his knowledge and experience, provides Newcastle County with electrical skills not previously found in building maintenance, and he's a key contributor to our operation. Jim, thanks so much for your service. John E. Spence III, pipe layer. John was hired as a pipe layer in construction support on October the 24th of 2011, and he too works mainly with the sanitary sewer repair crews performing repairs to the county's large sanitary sewer system. Once again, this critical work is performed at least 4 feet and sometimes as deep as 20 feet underground. Thank you so much for it. Thank you. And last but not least, Eric G Zupan, automotive mechanic. His completed work is of high quality. He is very accurate and thorough with everything he does. There has never been a task that he's been assigned that he has not completed with anything less than absolute professionalism. Eric sets the benchmark for excellence. Additionally, one other thing about Eric, he happens to serve in the reserve forces with the United States Coast Guard Reserve, and effective January 1, he will be deployed for a year. The weather's nice in Guantanamo, but he'll be down in Guantanamo Bay. Good luck to you. Thanks for your service. Okay, that concludes our awards, or at least the list of names I have. I want to personally thank everybody for everything they do throughout the year. But for those who received awards today specifically, thanks so much for your service. 425 years is nothing to just sneer at, because it's a lot of hard work and a lot of good service done to the citizens of this county. And I thank each and every one of you. Thank you.